Hey there, I'm Jill Allen, and this is Find Your Fierce, the show designed for women to discover your fierce, unlock an unstoppable mindset, build unbreakable courage, and completely transform how you show up every single day. Each week, I will bring ideas, methods, and strategies that will inspire you to step into your greatness and live life on purpose. Let's be fit, fierce, and unstoppable.
Hey there, gang. Welcome to Find Your Fierce. I am Jill Allen, and I'm so excited that you are here with me as we dive into another amazing episode 169, showing up each week to bring a little fire to your day. And this episode has been on my heart the past few weeks. A lot has been going on. I think between 4 or 5 baseball games a week, 4 track meets each week between the 2 girls, the book release, just trying to get everything ready for the first ever Hike, Live, Explore hiking challenge. We were thinking about calling it the Explorer Challenge, but kind of went a different direction and decided to call it the Trailblazer Challenge. So to get that up and ready for registration, there's a lot of transitions, a lot of deadlines. I know they're probably a lot of them all self-induced, a lot of pouring into something that you are so super passionate about, knowing that you have been called to do this. It's just a lot. There's a responsibility there and it's all good. But I have been in a spot of uncomfortableness, if that's even a word. Days where, I feel like I'm way outside my comfortable living because of all the things. And today I wanted to dive into that a little bit with you and talk about comfortable living, times when we need to take a leap of faith and take action, and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. But before we go any further, I have to ask, are you needing a speaker for an upcoming event or conference? If so, I am your person. I would love to bring the Find Your Fierce message to your next function. To book your event, message me at jill@jillallencoaching.com. And I love that you're here listening in and spending time with me. So honored that I get to be a part of your day. You guys are just just amazing. And I thank you for your love and support. I appreciate your feedback, your reviews. And I love that you share this podcast and the Set Fire message with your friends and family. And speaking of Set Fire, for the last couple of weeks, I've been calling it Set Free because that has been ingrained in my heart and head. But the new book is called Set Fire. It was released last week and it's just so good. And I would love it if you would go over to Amazon and snag your copy, especially if you want to fire up your life. You can even download the first 14 pages while you're waiting for it to ship. I think you're going to love it. And I can't thank you enough just for being here. And I appreciate each and every one of you. So, on to the episode of being uncomfortable. Are you ready? I know I am, so I want us to dive in here. So let me start off by asking you this. What is the point of life? Is the point of your entire existence to accumulate stuff and make ourselves as comfortable as possible? Really, at the end of your life, will we look back and say, wow, man, I sure felt comfortable? How much of life are we sitting it out on, all in an effort to kind of protect our comfort and safety? And we sit in this little bubble doing the same exact things that we've always done, only seeking the guaranteed, the safe route, or going after the low-hanging fruit of life that is just so easy to grab. And then we wonder why we feel an empty ache within us that desires more. And guys, let me tell you, that ache, that little spark inside, that gut feeling, it's because we weren't designed for comfort and safety. Our bones heal, our hair grows back, our heart skips a beat and then starts back up. Our entire being was made for risk and change, overcoming, rising above. It's who God decided you are and how He decided your life would be. Guys, we're risk takers, we're change makers, a powerhouse, fire starters, fire stokers, warriors, dreamers, and we're doers, chain breakers. We're leaders who set the world ablaze. And impossible things are made possible because of the space God designed within us to hold His Spirit. And then here comes the sweeping in, really quick and it's like so real, but the enemy comes in and he like confronts us. He wants to go to battle. I mean, he can't defeat us because of the spirit that is within us, but we sometimes allow him and invite the enemy in. And I tell you what, the enemy, he can't lessen our power. But what he does, he tries to make us forget our power and who actually lives and dwells inside our heart. So do you realize how the devil makes us forget our God-given power? And one way he does that is that he makes you comfortable. And stick with me here, okay? As you become comfortable in life, you become soft. You experience a little ease, and then you crave more ease. And then here in this place of comfort and ease where threats seem to be held back, I mean, the real threat is happening within. Within, we are like shrinking. Atrophy takes place. And, you know, if you guys don't really understand atrophy, with me being a fitness trainer, well, let's just put it this way. You guys, if you break a leg and you put a cast on, you'll see the difference between the muscles between each leg. I know when Hayden and Harrison, they had their knee surgery, I couldn't get over the atrophy in their quad muscles in the weaker leg. And so that's kind of what happens. The atrophy, the wasting away of a body as a result of not being used. And so we have this muscle, and if we stop using that muscle, it will atrophy and eventually get to the point of no longer being usable. We have the strength, we have the courage, we have the willpower, but if we don't use it, we lose it. And we better believe our enemy knows that. And so I want to share with you what the enemy did to me. He offered us, Rob and I, the promise of a guaranteed paycheck, while the prompting of this greater purpose kind of just wasted away within us. And so we sold the greenhouse, major leap of faith, but we sold the greenhouse, which was very uncomfortable, yet exciting all at the same time. And so we finally took that leap on a different purpose that God showed us. But let me tell you, the enemy was at work. The enemy offered us this income, just like a solid plan, I should say. He offered us this big, beautiful home, steady income, that cushy living, while my adventurous spirit quietly died in the corner. And I wanted to get that back. Like, I am so fired up about this hike and this live and explore because life is so short and I want us to be able to live it to the fullest. We could even go further into all of that. He offered me the comfort of my couch, where I could work from home. And it's such a blessing. But my confidence was smothered by this lazy weight gain I've had since 2020, and this mindset that was constantly triggered because I was behind a computer screen all day long. And then he continued to offer the safe options, the logical choices, all the looks perfect on paper scenarios. But the real me, the woman God created me to be, was at this total state of atrophy. And I felt like I was wasting away with this big paycheck, a big house, a comfortable life, and all the stuff a girl could ever hope for. And I say this with complete gratitude. I mean, such a thankful heart, with complete awareness that life is so, so super good. To even have choices in this day and age, I mean, it's a really, really good thing. So I want you to hear my heart on this. I am not complaining about my life. I'm saying that everything is picture perfect. And what happens is, this is why we can sometimes arrive at this destination in life that we work so hard for, but only to feel empty inside. Now, I'm not speaking for my husband. He is a total rock star and he so loves everything he does. I mean, heck, he even whistles nonstop most days because he's just filled with pure joy. But I'm sharing with you of what I walked through a season or two in my life. And this is why everything can look so good, so amazing on the outside, while we're wasting away on the inside. We aren't designed for a comfortable, easy, safe, plannable life. And I love plans. I love schedules and agendas. I love it. But we're trying to plan it all out, and that's simply not the way it works. Our plans are sucking the life out of us. Our pursuit of safety is creating this misery in the process. So when we sold the greenhouse, made the shift, decided to start up the Hike, Live, Explore, to spend our time helping others get outdoors, create opportunities to unplug and detox and disconnect from the crazy, to spend moments in nature, to just breathe, to take on new challenges like they would never have had the courage to do before, or to write books that have Jesus in the title. And I tell you that because it is risky. It's not mainstream. I was told if I wrote a book on molecular biomechanics, and I don't even know if there's such a thing, but everyone would be sharing it as if it was the greatest book on earth. But because it is about setting fire to your soul and walking with Jesus and talking about my strong faith and how Jesus has changed my life. And guys, it's hard. It was talk about being uncomfortable. I know I was called to write that book. I was called to step out and go a different direction and start something new, to get uncomfortable and do it anyway. All the things that can seem risky and rewarding all at once. God created our bones to heal because He knew they would get broken along the way. And just because something can get broken doesn't mean we put it on a shelf and never use it. Our life is here for living. And if it gets a little messed up, or we take a wrong turn or make a detour, all I can tell you is that we have a Creator who is also a healer, a redeemer, and a restorer. So I encourage you today to go ahead and take a risk, make a change, step out in faith. Guys, our hair will grow back, our bones will heal, God will turn everything into good, and nothing is ever wasted. So step out to do what you are being called to do, what God placed in your heart, who you're being called to be, and who you are being called to become. And so where are the stories in the Bible of the people who played it safe? People who didn't take any risks. People who chose comfort over a calling. All I know is there aren't many, because the truth is, it's the ones out there living and taking risks. Those are the ones that are being written about. It's the ones showing up and doing things that we read about. People who are doing things for the Lord, going against the grain, living different, being different. We read about Moses, we read about Peter, we read about Daniel, we read about David. Their stories are living on. We know their names. But there's a story, and this has so much power to this, but there is a story of an unnamed man in the Bible, a man who missed his opportunity. You need to know about him because it's in Matthew 19. There was this rich young man who encountered Jesus, and Jesus told him in verse 21, if you want to be perfect, go and sell all your possessions and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me. And the next verse says, when the young man heard this, he went away sad, for he had many possessions. And that was the end of his story. We never heard about him again. Do you realize Jesus was giving this man an invitation to be his disciple? It's the same invitation he gave to all the others, come, follow me. Because they were willing to leave everything they had, they experienced life with Jesus like no one else. They not only saw the miracles, they were part of the miracles. They were vessels used to write the words we still read today. But this young man just couldn't accept the invitation and went away sad. Why? Because he had so much. And let me tell you, the enemy doesn't just come to take from you. He also comes to give you so much that you miss the entire point. If taking it all away will get you stuck in a dark pit of depression, then he takes. But if giving you comfort and ease will get you stuck in the busyness of life while refusing the invitation to the purposes of God, then game on. He gives. He gives you a comfortable job where you completely lose your identity. He gives you the money that makes you greedy to only focus on getting more. He gives you so much to take care of that you miss God's sweetest opportunities. And we are tricked with ease. We are tricked with comfort. We are tricked with safety. We are tricked with more. But more. from the pits of hell cannot possibly compare to the more from the heavenly realms. Yes, I'm going to tell you guys, the devil has more for you, more to distract you, more to overwhelm you, more to make you settle into a little existence where life has become predictable and comfortable, all for the purposes of making you miss out on Jesus' invitation to life. Jesus says, come follow me. So I got to ask you, what's holding you back? What could life be without those ties? Let me tell you, freeing. What could life be without these comforts? Uncomfortable and so much bigger. Jesus said in John 10:10, I came that you might have life and have it to the full. Life with Jesus is fulfilling. It is not easy. It is not comfortable. It is not predictable. It's more like this wild ride where you are holding on tight with whiplash. But man, oh man, it's so fulfilling. There's no atrophy in a life with Jesus. There's risk and chance and change. There's uncertainty and challenges and a few broken bones that are promised to heal along the way. And there's a fullness to life like you've never experienced in that bubble you've been trying to find and hide in. If you've been missing the excitement in life, could it be because you've opted for safety over fully following Jesus? That rich young man turned away from Jesus and went back to his life of comfort and stuff. He had no idea what he was missing out on. He missed out on water walking lessons. He missed out on healings and miracles and a calling that would radically change the trajectory of his life and others. You don't want to miss out on this. Is God prompting you to let go of something to pursue him more? Is he stirring a desire within you that will require a change? Is he extending an invitation to you right now for something more, something bigger, but it will require you to make space first? What would Jesus do? Jesus took risks. Jesus sought his calling over his comfort. Jesus chose eternal over easy. That's what Jesus did. So the question is, what will we do? When you're old and dying, don't you want to look back and say, wow, I'm glad I went for it? Or instead of like, wow, I'm glad I was so comfortable. Man, I'm fired up. Man, it's so good. I hope this hit home with you. Before we wrap this up, there is something about getting outdoors, unplugging, and spending time in nature. Have you checked out our brand new Instagram page, Hike, Live, and Explore? If you want all the ins and outs when it comes to hiking, getting outdoors, and challenges, go follow that page. That is Hike, Live, Explore. And there's also a Facebook group that you can hang out with us there. And the Trailblazer Challenge is kicking off May 1st. You don't want to miss it. And if you're wanting even more fire in your day, there's so much for you to do. So you can join our Just Breathe Facebook group. You can snag a copy of my new book, Set Fire, that just released. Join us in the adventure of a lifetime this August for the Backpacker. We are hiking the White Mountains, and it's going to be so epic. Join our Hawaii mission team. We're serving in Kauai in June. Or maybe you're thinking about doing your own road trip. You can hop in our Sprinter van that sleeps up to 5 and hit the open road. And that is a lot going on. So I don't want to overwhelm you. You can just go to jillallencoaching.com for all the updates, as we would love to connect with you. Positive connection is so game-changing. Come back next week. We are taking more action. I know you're going to love it, as it will help and encourage you to up-level. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I pray that I filled your heart with joy. If you could let me know before hopping off here, that would be incredible. Subscribe, share this episode link on your social media if you felt encouraged or inspired, as we all know someone that can benefit, and I would love it if you would give some feedback and a review as well. Talk with you next time. Be fit, be fierce, be unstoppable. See ya.